We won this 2011 Honda Civic riddled with hail damage from Copart Auto Auction for just $1,250, and we turned it into this clean, dependable ride that is now valued at $4,100. Want to know how we did it? Stay locked in. We'll show you how. All right, so we're going to be bidding on a 2011 Honda Civic LX. This vehicle has a salvage title due to the hail damage as primary damage that's listed. This vehicle is valued at around roughly $5,600 with the clean title. This is a 4-cylinder vehicle with a 1.8 liter motor, automatic, front wheel drive, gasoline with keys in the vehicle. State Farm is the seller. That's always a plus when you get in the vehicle straight from the insurance company. And we're getting ready to bid on this vehicle shortly. The auction just started, currently winning at $1,150. Took me out of the bid. Current bid is at $1,200. Currently winning at $1,250. Not too much competition here. Looks like we might take this one home at $1,250. Time is running down and we won this one, $1,250. The vehicle just got delivered, all wrapped in plastic. The transporter is taking off now. Getting ready to take this car for a test drive. Got my safety glasses on. Reason why is because I got no windshield and there's definitely some glass particles all around this dash. It's not easy to get some of these glass particles up right now. Never drove a vehicle without a windshield, but I'm sure if it wasn't for the glass I was worried about getting in my eye, it would be kind of fun. So we'll see how it works out. All right, so we have the Honda Civic in the shop. We're getting ready to go through the inspection. We're gonna check out this vehicle thoroughly. We're gonna check underneath the hood, the undercarriage, check for leaks, check to see what all components are functioning properly and what components are not functioning properly, what services and repairs need to be done. We know that this is a hail damage vehicle. You can spot one right there. So we're gonna have to take care of the hail damage that's on this vehicle. Again, this vehicle has what I call minimum hail damage. So it's really not a lot of hail damage that's going on. You can see the windshield is completely out. Most likely the hail damage shattered and broken the windshield and it was taken out. Wherever this vehicle was taken to be assessed, like a body shop, they must have just taken out the windshield completely. So we already factored that into the cost and expense. Typically, a windshield costs about $300 to install. So without further ado, let's get into the inspection. All right, so we just started the inspection. We're gonna check component functions within the interior. After that, we're gonna make our way underneath the hood. We're gonna check fluid levels. We're gonna check for leaks. We're gonna check dry belt and just different components underneath the hood. Find out what all services need to be done. We're checking the air filter. Not too bad. We're probably gonna reuse that. Making our way inside the vehicle. At this time, we're gonna inspect the cabin air filter to see if it needs to be replaced or not. Damn! We're gonna continue to check some functions of components inside the vehicle. Radio code is required, so we can't use the radio. Luckily for us, we did find the radio code inside one of the books. Pretty easy procedure to put that in. All right, so we got the radio working, not too bad. I'm waiting to get your new ride. It's all about overseas. We're gonna make sure simple things are functioning like the windows. Making sure the locks work as well. We're gonna test the handbrake to make sure that's working and holding. Now we're gonna lift up the vehicle to inspect the undercarriage. We're shaking down the front end to check for play. All right, so we just got through the inspection on this Civic. Some of the findings that we have, you've seen earlier during the inspection, this very, very filthy cabin air filter. Now, customers and owners don't realize how serious it is to have a decent air filter. I mean, it's only the air being filtered through this filter that you're breathing in on a daily while you're driving. This is pretty bad. So we definitely got to get rid of this. This is like a nest buildup in here. The windshield, of course, replacement we have down here. We're gonna call a couple of windshield companies to get a quote. Like I said, usually about $300 or so. Hopefully we can get it a little cheaper, but I doubt it. Headlight restoration. So very foggy yellow lens. I got roasted for the last Civic for not doing the headlights. A couple of comments says, you should have took care of those unclear headlights. Pretty easy fix. I'm not gonna get to every single thing, but I tell you what, I'm gonna take care of it this time because I don't wanna get roasted. So I'm gonna take care of these foggy headlights. We're gonna clear that up, do a headlight restoration on that. The two roof trims are missing. So they took off the roof trim going all the way back. It's missing, not in the vehicle. So we're gonna have to find those at the junkyard. I'm pretty optimistic we can get those at the junkyard. The right rear has body damage, TPMS lights on. So right rear, body damage. This is something actually, I'm not gonna lie, I did not catch this. I don't remember. I'm gonna go back and check to see if the photos have this markings, and I'll probably put that in the edit and show if whether or not the photos had this damage or this is something that's fairly new. It looks like it could be, you know, a little bit aged, like this happened like a while ago and not like within the last couple of days when the forklift came. Because this is how they, listen, if you haven't been to a Copart facility, they use forklifts. They use forklifts. They use these big machines that lift up the vehicles. Sometimes they ram the vehicles from the back, they ram the vehicle from the side, and they cause all sorts of damage on the body and the undercarriage. It's pretty bad. So just to go over a little bit more on the hail damage while I'm here, you can definitely see some hail damage right there. That's a pretty bigger dent that's right there. There's another one right over there. So there's not a whole lot. Like I said, this is more on the lighter side of hail damage. So it shouldn't be as difficult to take care of as some vehicles that we had in the past. Let's move right along on the list. TPMS light is on at the dash. Front bumper is loose. You can see the front bumper is loose and some slight surface damage. Nothing too crazy, so we're gonna secure that. We do a little bit of cleaning up there. Let's check out the TPMS light that's on at the dash. At the right side top, TPMS wording usually indicates a hard fault or a DTC, a troubleshooting code, usually indicating a failed sensor. So like we've done in the past, we're probably gonna buy these sensors online in a set of 4 and replace all 4 sensors. Because like I said in the past, these sensors usually won't last more than 4 to 6 years on a vehicle. And this vehicle is a little bit aged, right? So I'm just noticing this damage right here. I can't remember if I seen this in the picture online or not. This is a pretty deep dent right here. Man, so if this is hail damage, this would probably be the deepest dent I've ever seen hail damage wise. So this is something we're gonna have to try to work on to try to get it to look better. May not be perfect, but we definitely be able to pop this out a little bit. We'll see how that works out. All right, so we're gonna remove a couple of wheels to get a better look at the brakes. We couldn't get a look through the steel wheels and the hubcaps, especially in the back, they're rear drums. So you have to remove the actual drum assembly to get a good look at the brake shoes, and we're doing this so now. All right, so that pretty much wraps up the inspection on this Honda Civic. Stay locked in as we get into the repairs and the services that need to be done to get this car ready for sale. So right now we're trying to blow out and clear some of the glass particles that was left from the windshield removal. We're gonna wipe down the vehicle so that the hail damage can be seen easier during the repairs. All right, so starting to work on these hail damages on the roof first. The reason why I'm starting with the roof is because I got an appointment to get the windshield done tomorrow. So I kind of want to get that out the way in case I want to access here. Initially, I was gonna take down, damn, that's crazy how I could just get inside the vehicle without no windshield. All right, initially I was gonna take down the headliner because I like getting in between where the headliner is underneath and popping out the dents with these hail rods, right? With the rods like this. I find it easier for me to get the dents out faster. But then when I went around and circled the dents, and I may have missed maybe 1 or 2, but it's not a lot, man. I'm having trouble finding these dents. There's really not a lot going on. There's some deep ones, but it's not a lot. So what? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 10. About 10 dents. Because it's so little, I need to try to get it done without taking out the headliner. If there was like maybe 20 more, then I would say take down the headliner. But because it's less, even though glue pulling with the heat, with the glue gun and using these tabs, I'm not as good doing the hail damage with the glue pulling and the tabs. I'm gonna definitely try to see what I can do to get these to look better by glue pulling to save time and not pull out the headliner. So we're gonna get into it. All right, so we're starting the hail damage repair. As I stated earlier, I'm going to be using the glue pulling method with the glue pulling tabs, doing the knockdown, using that light. I am using the rods a little bit. You can see I'm working out some of those dents one by one. It's a tedious process, but in the end, they do come out clean if you know what you're doing. Just bought some spray cans from a local parts store. Got a funky green. You may see that in the video to come. We got that blue. We're working on that Honda. We got some clear coat, and we also got some grays for another vehicle you may see in the future. We're starting to tackle that ugly dent in the back. We pulled out as much as we could, and then we used some Bondo. Now we're going to spray it up to make it look a little nicer. At this time, we're going to start tackling the faulty tire pressure sensors. We're going to replace all 4 sensors on this vehicle. We used the manual bead breaker, replaced all 4 sensors, and programmed them. We're going to install some LED ice blue interior lighting, and this is what it looks like in the dark. During inspection, I neglected to mention that we found the passenger rear door window not operating. We dialed it as a faulty motor, but we found a regulator with a motor for a decent price, so we decided to replace both. It's time to clean this vehicle up. We're going to start by vacuuming the carpet interior. We always do the detailing ourselves to cut down on the costs. This is just some of the nastiness that you're going to come across when you get in these used cars. I mean, this is gummed up. It looks like it's been in there for like 10 years. I just want to hope and believe this is only juice or coffee spill. Bruh. But really, you never know. We're working on clearing up those headlights. We're going to do a headlight restoration. We're going to start by doing a dry sand. Then we're going to move on to a wet sand. Then we're going to close it out with some clear coat. All right, so we're at a local car wash, working on the exterior. Like I always say, presentation is everything. We want to get this car really clean and shiny so that potential buyers are impressed. We got the carpets out because they were really dirty. Between that purple power and the high pressure water, it really works its magic on getting that dirt and stains out of that carpet. Car's looking really good, looking really clean. All right, so we're going to briefly go over the rebuild title application for a salvage title to rebuild. We have in front of us a copy of the application in the state of Tennessee. So the application vehicle information is what's required in the first block. You're to select either you're a dealer or an individual. In the case we're a dealer, Flip Auto Experts. Next, you're going to provide email address. Then you're going to put a contact number. You're going to put in the address. You're going to put in the vehicle year, make, as well as the model. On the next line, you're going to input the vehicle VIN number. After that, you're going to select the reason for the damage. You're going to put in the rebuilder information if the rebuilder is different from the applicant. On the next section, you're going to select the vehicle components. There's a list of vehicle components that you have to submit a receipt for. If any of the parts are missing or badly damaged, cannot be reused, you have to input that, and you also have to provide a receipt along with this application. You're going to submit 4 quadro pictures. You're going to submit a payment, $75 for an individual, $85.50 for a business. And then you're also going to submit the title, sign, as well as the receipt for any parts. And I would make copy of all the documents before you mail them out. That pretty much wraps up the procedure for the application process from salvage to rebuild. So this vehicle cleaned up pretty nicely. I think you would agree. Copart is valuing this vehicle a little over $5,600, while Kelly Blue Book is valuing this vehicle a little over $5,200. So we have on the right-hand side of the screen an expense sheet. The Copart winning bid amount was $1,250. We have a Copart fee of $465. We spend $110 for shipping. We spend $21 for a roof molding. We spend $91 for a rebuild title application, $39 for a TPMS sensor set. We spend $9 for a cabin air filter. We have an expense of $355 for the windshield. We pay $93 for a new battery. We spend $41 for the windshield motor and regulator. We had a $12 shop expense. We spent $35 for oil change kit. That gave us a total expense of $2,521. We ended up selling this vehicle for $4,100, which gave us a profit of $1,579. Not too bad. Thank you for watching. As always, if you caught any value, don't forget to like, share, and comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.